Wendy Emerson coming to you from the tower at Canandaigua Motorsports Park, and I'm with my new friend Billy O. How are you today?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Let's see if we can do this again. So you are from Victor. You grew up here, and you relocated to North Carolina. But how does it feel to be home?
Feels great. You know, we only get a few weekends off a year, and one of the weekends, you know, we do our own thing, and then one weekend we always come home. And for the last couple of years, I haven't come out here, and I decided, you know, I need to come out here to Canandaigua Speedway because, you know, you spend every Saturday night out here. So I called a good friend of mine, Bill Turner, and he said, come on out. He just so happened to be sponsoring a race tonight, and it all worked out great.
So you used to race here. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I raced a street stock out here in '89. Ran it for a year and ran pretty good. The following year, I decided I want to step it up a little bit and didn't have the funding to do it the way I wanted to do it, so I sold the car and been helping people out here, you know, on and off, you know, until I moved out North Carolina.
So, right, you left here and then you went to North Carolina. Tell us a little bit about what you went after when you went down there.
Okay, so I went down to North Carolina and I didn't know anybody in racing, and that's what I wanted to do, so I knocked on a few doors and knocked on Mike Dillon's door, he was racing late models and in Busch cars, and he's Richard Childress' son-in-law. So I went there on a Friday. He wasn't there, and went back on Monday, and he said, you know, nice to meet you. I'll have to check with Richard, see if I can hire anybody. So I went back on Tuesday, said he hadn't seen Richard. Went back on Wednesday, said, still ain't seen Richard. And so I thought he was giving me a runaround. So I thought, you know, heck, I work here. I told myself I work here for free. And I work here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if I cut my finger off, I'll pick it up and walk out the door. No questions asked. And he ain't got to pay me nothing. And I was hired on that Friday.
That's a great story, but then you moved on to something a little bit different. I know you're working on cars still, but what else are you doing? Yeah,
for the last 8 years, I've been Kevin Harvick's spotter. I was the second spotter in 2000 for like Mike Skinner and people like that, Robbie Gordon, and so I got the chance to learn how to do, you know, the job without actually having the pressure of being the primary spotter. So he went through about 3 or 4 spotters, and you know was having a hard time, and so I did it a few times for him, and he liked how I did it, and we've been together ever since. It's been about 8 years now.
And what do you love about working inside the NASCAR organization?
It's all the people, you know. It's the professionalism. You know, everyone comes from different backgrounds of racing. You can learn so much from all the people that are in racing, and you know. Just, you know, the attitudes, you know, because you're on the road so much, and you know you gotta get along with these guys. So, you know, it's almost like a second family. So, you know, that's the biggest part, is having the right attitude, and that's what makes a team mesh or not.
So actually, I didn't ask you this before, but from October to February during your off months, what are you doing and where are you staying?
We work in the shop. I'll take most of the end of December off through the first of the year, but there's no time off. You know, we stay in the shop and we build new cars. We go testing come January, so there's really no off season. You know, it's just full time racing, and you know, sometimes we work longer hours in the shop during the off season than we do during the regular season. So you never can tell. It all depends on what rules they send to you. And in 2013 we'll have a new car, so it's going to be, you know, really a long winter, you know, coming that year.
And how are things looking for Kevin this season? I know he's like 6th in points, I think, 6th in standing right now.
Yeah. At this time last year, we had 3 wins. We don't have those. We were 3rd in the points and pretty much locked in the chase. I feel we're kind of on the teeter-totter. You know, we're not locked in the chase. We need to win some races. We've had some good speed in the car, but we have not had the finishes, you know. So as a whole, we're not happy. We need to do better, and you know, we need to lock ourselves in that chase and then go for it the last 10.
Well, we certainly love to watch Kevin race, and we're just glad to have you here tonight and meet you and talk to you, so we appreciate you spending time with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And Wendy Emerson coming to you with Billy O., Kevin Harvick spotter in the Sprint Cup division of NASCAR, coming to you from the tower at Canandaigua Motorsports Park.